Dear Africa.
Hey, welcome to Manifest Africa. Another check-in about my RIB experience with my employees that took my office property and quit with no notice. I'm getting all my paperwork together, so I didn't get to go there today because I had to go to get a printout with a stamp from the MTN concerning the momos that I paid them. I had to go through all of our correspondence in my group chat to print out different correspondences over the last month. Plus, I had to print out some things, showing my character, because as I was going through the correspondence, I really wasn't reading it when they were texting me talking crazy about how I did them, and they have a lawyer because I wasn't supposed to pay their taxes. So as I was reading it, the one of them was like, you can't just treat us bad and abuse us just because we're African. I'm like, I know he didn't say this. So I'm figuring that they're going to lie to RIB and try to tell them I was mistreating them. So I don't know how feeding you every day, paying you your money on time, all of your money, buying you equipment to use so that you can work, even though the equipment, of course, is company property, but just purchasing things that I normally wouldn't have to purchase that wasn't in my business budget, so that you can work. Driving them around, they don't offer you any gas money, giving them rides to and from work, paying for their transportation, paying them as a casual employee first, cash, just so they can have some money in their pockets. Do you call that treating you any kind of way and abusing you? That's if that's what you call abuse, shoot. So it's a lot. So I just had to print out some other character things, give them a copy of my budget to show them that I have been very good to them. I've gone above and beyond what other people were telling me to do for them. And that's taken the whole day. So, and then I'm missing, as I'm this is the second day of me having to deal with this. So I'm missing work. I'm not doing any work. So you're getting over on me on that. Now I have to find at least one or two more new people. And I leave in 2 weeks. So, and then I'm paying for a car. I'm paying for a roof over my head so that I can work. And so that's a waste of money because I'm not even able to work because I have to deal with these knuckleheads. And for him to just have the audacity to text me that I can't abuse them just because they're African. I've never abused anybody. It wasn't a secret what your pay was. You didn't have to take it. So I would go on to the next person, So it's just, this is, because after these three, this is 3, 4, 5. So this is 9 people out of the first 14. 9 people out of the first 14 that I've dealt with or tried to deal with that didn't even make it. Like they couldn't even, but these people made it longer, but the first ones, they couldn't even make it out of casual employee status because they was oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. To be quite honest with you, I'm coming back, but I am so ready to go home. I'm so ready to go home this time. Last time I didn't even want to go home. I'm so ready to go home. I'm tired of the dry begging. I'm tired of every single day, every transaction you make, you have to be like, up on your toes, and just not letting people nickel and dime you. It gets tiring after a while, especially after I had to deal with it and everything, the roaches and everything in Ghana. for so an extended period of time. And then I got the printout of the Momo of all the payments I made on the Momo. And that doesn't even count what I probably helped them out with in cash. Like I paid for phone service so that, we could call back and forth and it wouldn't cost them any money, so it's just amazing how people nickel and dime you to death. My assistant, she was like, "Are you really gonna, this is theft, because she was watching me print out all the proof, gather the receipts, take pictures of my books, you know what I'm saying, the correspondence." And she even put it together. She was like, "This is really bad." Because at first she was kind of like on their side, like, "Oh, wow, do you really have to do this?" And I'm like, I'm giving them a choice. I asked them to just bring my property back and and keep it moving. You want to, they hung up, told me, they said they don't care, so why should I care about someone's life more than they care about their own? So that's not my responsibility. Yeah, after she was seeing me put my evidence together and put the package together, this was out with, I haven't even written my statement yet because I'm tired. So I have to write my statement, print that out, and highlight everything for RIB so it makes their job easier. She was like, she was like, "Here, this theft." She was like, "This is theft." I said, "I know, that's what this is, theft." And she was like, "They could go to jail." And I said, "They told me they don't care. I gave them 2 days now to just bring me my property and signed a letter, of the money that you owed me." Because one of them had a car accident and I paid their responsibility part of the car accident, and he promised me that he would keep working for me so that I can deduct a small amount out of his salary to cover the accident. He quit, so you don't even appreciate what I've done for you, and I just asked him to sign a letter saying that he would pay me a small amount every month and pay me back since he, quit the job. He told me no, he doesn't care, and he doesn't care if I call RIB. The slick stuff they're doing, they're using my equipment in order to do whatever they're doing, and it's not right, and it is theft. That's what it is. And she put it together. She said, "Oh, this is why they didn't give you 2 week notice, because they want to keep your property, and they knew that if they gave you any kind of notice that they were going to quit, that you would have told them to give you your company property back." Even she put it together. And I'm like, "Yeah." I left my other Airbnb. Um, I just got back to this one, and the houseboy from the other Airbnb, he was like, called me, left me a message, something about the owners are saying mad at him because I didn't collect their money. And I was like, "What money?" I said, "I paid them before I moved in." Well, the lady of the household, she had posted on Facebook one day about where do you find sour cream here. Because I was asking her, I was looking for some sour cream because I wanted to make my own gluten-free pie crust. And so she posted it, and she's posted stuff on her expat group on Facebook. I'm not on there, and for me, and she had posted some other stuff for me. So when she told me, I went and bought it. So this time she paid for it, and she was like, "Oh, I bought you the sour cream," and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Thank you." I was like, let me send you your Momo." And she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." That was probably like about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. So I'd left there on the 28th. This is the 2nd. And on the 28th, I just checked his voicemail. I thought I had left something there and forgot something. And so he left me a voicemail. It was like, "The owners are mad at me because I didn't collect the money." And I'm trying to figure out money for what? I'm like, "I already paid them." So I had my assistant call him to see what he's talking about. He's talking about the sour cream. So they have my number. but you know that you told me don't worry about it. So why didn't you text me and say, hey, I need that money for the sour cream. The sour cream was actually 6,800 Wanda francs, which is $6.80. So it was very high, but it's a double container. And then I didn't even ask you to buy me the sour cream. All I asked was, do they have sour cream here? So I figured maybe that's why she said that. And then not only that, like some other items that I had left in their refrigerator, like the mayo, they used that. Somebody used it. You know what I mean? They used it up. They didn't use the barbecue sauce. I had bought a little small thing of cream, a jar of cream, and she opened that. I don't know if she couldn't tell if she really used it, but she opened it, I guess, to look at it or whatever, So I'm ready to go. I'm tired of this. Oh, I'm tired of this. I need a break. I need a break from the dry begging. I need a break from the all these misunderstandings and all of this. You owe me money every freaking where. Every time you turn your head, somebody is trying to nickel and dime you, get you to give them money, even if it's a small amount of money. It's just damn irritating. I mean, I need a break. I'm ready to go. And as a matter of fact, when I get off here, I'm gonna get online and see if I can see if I could change my ticket. I am literally ready to go. I need a break. I need a break. I need to regroup. I need to sit in my house by myself for a few weeks and work on some paperwork and just not be around anybody trying to beg me out of some money, hustle me out of some money, steal some money from me, make me waste my money, triple charge me, double charge me. I'm I can't I mean, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy being here. I guess, this is what this is what comes with it. You know, it's a beautiful place. I don't want to discourage anybody, but you get tired of it. You get tired of it. You get so tired of it. I just wish they would stop. And if I'm this tired in Rwanda where it's not as bad in all the other African countries, like I'm tired of it. I mean, it's definitely not even as bad as Egypt, but I just need a break from it. And then I have a lot of other issues and bills, my budget, things that I got to take care of that I'm barely taking care of. You know, I'm over here trading on Coinbase to make money, so I don't necessarily have an income. If I lose, I can't sell, then I'm on hold. So those are, weeks that I can't trade, or sometimes I get a little fear in me because I'm teaching myself to read the charts so I can make better decisions on trading, but you can't be perfect all the time. And like, I need that money, to pay for my way over here. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's the first of the month. All my bills are due at home, plus all my bills are due over here. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. And I'm so tired of trying to explain to every African that I come across that it's the same all over the world. Only the rich, the politicians, and the elite don't have the problems that the working class, or the poor people don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, cry me a river. I could cry you a river too. It's just the way that it is. You spend a lot of your life, you know, not being able to make enough money to pay rent to live in the best neighborhoods or even a halfway decent neighborhood. I was on Section 8. I got my first place with Section 8. I couldn't even have did that without Section 8. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's the same everywhere. Just because you work for somebody, or you have somebody come from another country, doesn't mean that they owe you anything. It don't mean that we owe you nothing. We don't owe you anything. And to be quite frank with you, and I'm going to say this out loud, to be quite frank concerning with Black Americans, I really feel like y'all owe us, because y'all's ancestors sold ours into slavery, and now the tables are turned. Now the tables are turned. 400 or 500 years later, now y'all begging and wishing you could come to the States. You're looking at us like we're so rich, and we should feel sorry for you, and we should help you. Talk to your ancestors about it. Blame it on them. But don't try to take advantage of me because of what your ancestors did, or treat me some kind of way, or be jealous of me. Like, that's some BS. That's some BS. And they don't like to hear that when you tell them that either. But this is why, you know, people as a whole, when your race downtrodden's on another race, or enslaves another race or colonizes another, that's why people as a whole should stand up against it, all races, because it's just like some kind of cycle. And then 400 or 500 years later, your people are at the top and the new people are at the bottom. One thing I noticed in Egypt was all of the pharaohs, all of the largest statues, everything, Black people ran the world back then. They were the richest, they were the politicians, they were the ones in power. And then when you go to the museum, that's what I saw. None of the big statues were of European features. And all of the red people and the whiter people and the yellow people that they painted, those were all subservient to the large statues. So I wondered to myself, what did Black people do way back then in Egypt to where then it got turned around on them, and now the Europeans are in power? It's just a horrible cycle. Oh my gosh. It's just a horrible cycle. And I don't want to participate in it. But, you're here, you're alive. You have to make decisions about how to move. You can't be a recluse or a hermit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel like a lot of times now that I communicate with the source, and I download, I try to figure out this information. And it's not exact all the time, but I will say it's been getting a little more precise, because I've been asking the source, like, will you please help me figure out what you're trying to tell me? But it just makes, like I said at the beginning of this video, I just want to go home and just stay in the house, do my paperwork, and not deal with nobody for 2-3 weeks, a month. I don't even want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy. It's crazy. Life is enjoyable. Life is really about the journey. It is about the people you meet. You don't want to make it about the money, but you need money to survive. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to meet I want to say they're decent. You know what I mean? But after you get robbed, and after you get disappointed, and after you get lied on so many times, by the same group of people, I just don't want to start believing that, because I understand and I truly believe in my heart, it doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, what class you're in. People are people wherever you go. You meet good people, you meet bad people, you meet people that have gone through this and that, so that's why they go and do this and that. You meet people that have never gone through this and that, and so they don't believe in doing this or that. You know what I'm saying? So I've been through so much in life, and I've had to do so many things in life that I wouldn't have chose to do if I didn't have to put food in my kids' mouths or clothes on their back, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm very understandable, and I really try to relate to my group members, my employees. I really try to relate and tell them the truth. And, I've been through these things too, and just hang on, and you know what I'm saying? Keep integrity. And there's even honor among thieves. You know what I'm saying? Here, I don't even think there's any honor among thieves. You know, they are just, so I'm not going to get discouraged, but I am getting ready to check and see if I could change, if I could get a flight for just a little bit more. Like, I'm telling you, I can spend two, three, $400 more and get out of here maybe like a week early, maybe 200, not four, but oh my gosh, maybe get out of here a week early. But you know, I have a lot of stories to tell. I have a lot of knowledge to help people with. I really hope that these videos, I know these videos are going to help somebody because I feel afraid to do them. Like I'm oversharing, but I know that they're going to help somebody, more than somebody, a lot of somebody's. It's helping me too. Because as I go back and watch them, I'm learning from myself. Because sometimes when you're in the midst of things, like you just don't see it. I learned so much by sitting down and going through all of our correspondence and dating them and putting them in order and getting the pictures and looking at the receipts. I learned a lot. You know, I learned a lot about myself, about how I learned you can't trust people. I mean, I know that trust is earned and not given, you know, but it seemed like after, it just seems like they, like I said, 10 out of 14, the three I have left, you know, I'm just sitting back waiting for them to do me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm hoping that not, you know what I mean? But I won't be surprised. You know, I won't be surprised. So I gotta pay more attention. That's what that I learned today is, Dinah, even though you're so busy, your mind is here and there. Because I was trying to learn how to delegate tasks to people and move on. You know what I'm saying? They say you need to learn how to delegate tasks and, you know, move on to the next task and put trust in them people. Trust them. And you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm reading in the books. So I'm like, shoot, you know, Donnie, you got to learn how to just delegate people. And once they show you that they're, you know, responsible, that they're going to do a good job, you don't need to micromanage them. Give them some, you know, delegate some things to them and let them take care of it and get some things off your plate because you can't do everything. So you can move on to the next thing that you need to do. Oh, no, not in Africa, baby. I'm sitting here telling you, not in Africa. You're going to have to micromanage. You're going to have to constantly check after every little thing. This is what I'm learning. This is what I'm learning. This is what I've learned. Every little thing you're going to have to watch after. Things that you wouldn't even think to yourself that you need to worry about. You know, the Black American I'm staying with now in this Airbnb, she said they would steal her silverware, her plates, you know, send them to the store. Even when she went to the store with them, they would put stuff on the conveyor belt, like sneak it when she wasn't looking. And then when she confront them about it, then they'll be like, oh, I thought you saw me. And why you didn't say anything? You know I didn't see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you check your receipt later, you confront them about it, then they try to put it on you, or they try to act like, you know, you owe them something. You know, I really feel like y'all owe me something because y'all's ancestors. But then how can you really say that? Because then you go further back to your other ancestors and then your other ancestors, and it's just a horrible cycle. Oh my gosh. It's just a horrible, horrible cycle. So I was just checking in on my RIB experience. I got to get off of here, print out their IDs. I'm almost out of ink. I'm using my paper. I'm using my ink, stuff that's expensive over here. My time not working. It's crazy. So I will check in tomorrow after I go to RIB, and I will be checking in and letting you all know how it is concerning theft. dry theft, how it is concerning dry theft in this country. Please like, share, and catch me on TBS, The Backstory, when I'm back in the United States, and catch me back, especially on CBI, when, I'm explaining to y'all how to buy property and lease property and businesses and open businesses in United States dollars in a Rwandan in a Rwandan currency system. But hey, I guess I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I need a return on my investment. But I know there's millions and millions of people that can afford it. They can afford it to come over here and just sit back and wait on the expat clients and overcharge so that they can get their money back, and open up a business where the local everyday working people really can't participate in. There's a lot of people got money like that. They don't really, they not pressed. They not pressed. So people like that, catch me on CBI and give me some business.
She came onto the country shores
as if she were 100-year storm. Most would heed the warning in time, take shelter, before even catching the enticing smell of the beautiful coming rain. A few godlike men, yet untamed by Mother Nature, would embrace the strong, somehow comforting change of winds. Allow themselves to take up the treasures revealed, left behind her impassioned path. Knowing her omnipresence is in the same nature of themselves, which called unto the storm.